It is the Riot podcast. It is a Tuesday, June 28th.
Did you really had to look over there?
I knew it was Tuesday. I want to get the date right.
Well, welcome back, Isaiah and Hudson, from vacation yesterday. So yes, you've been off for a day. So this is all brand new, right?
Yeah, I mean but it's never felt more like a Tuesday than today.
Oh,
you know?
really?
Yeah, there's just something. This is how Tuesday should feel. You come back from the weekend very refreshed after a long weekend.
Isaiah, I told Hudson, do you know that next week, since we're off on Monday for 4th of July, you'll have another 4-day week?
Incredible.
That's 3 weeks of 4-day stuff in a row.
I don't mean to be this guy, but I think 5 of the next 6 weeks
You are out.
are a short week for me. But then after that, I'm going to hang out for a while. I'm going to work every week, I swear. But right now, the next couple weeks, we're all going to be in and out of here. You know, I'm going to a country concert, then like the Las Vegas thing, 4th of July, and then my birthday. I'm not taking that off. I'm working on my birthday because I'm taking so many other days off. So.
We really appreciate that.
I know.
It's going to be tough to come in here for your free lunch, isn't it?
It's going to be so hard.
What a burden.
We hope everybody had a wonderful weekend, since this is the first podcast back with being off from the podcast yesterday.
Yeah, we had a pretty eventful weekend this past weekend. Everybody going on some little trips, and I wanted to ask Hudson some more questions about his Cleveland trip, right?
Yeah.
And so the main question that I have is, since you went to Cleveland, which is a city that we all know that I adore and I love, where would you rank it? As in comparatively so to some of your other trips? Is it like one of your upper echelon, weekend getaways? Was it a mid-tier, low-tier? Where are you putting your Cleveland trip?
Did you hear him talk about the
I say things, but, I'm not sure exactly what is the vacation been in the past. What are we comparing to?
See,
if you've only eaten at fast food places, BK is like an upper echelon food.
Cleveland could be good.
Yeah. Cleveland is like what would be the fast food equivalent of Cleveland?
It would be, to me, it's like
Steak and Shake?
Jack in the Box.
Steak and what?
A lot of options, lot to do.
Yeah.
Maybe not 100% the best, but a lot to do.
Technically open 24 hours, but that doesn't mean you'll get what you're looking for most of that time.
Fair.
It is the thing that's weird about Cleveland, and I've gone a few times, but I've only really been downtown post-COVID and everything. It's so dead downtown, even though they've got 2 stadium. Do they have
3.
a third stadium? Stadium. They've got like a casino. They've got. There's nobody moving around. There wasn't people there after the game. There was nobody. Like the town, it fell asleep while the sun was still up.
Was the game crowded or?
There was a decent amount of people there, but I've seen much more crowded. And then the next morning, like on Monday morning, I would think, maybe there'll be more people moving around in town, going to work or whatever. It was still pretty dead. I don't know. I do like once you get out of the downtown is nice because it's so historic. And then when you get out of the downtown, still along the lake, a lot of that is very nice as well. But it just feels, it just feels very
changed, hollow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say Cleveland as a whole, like the city of it, like it just seems very like old, like nothing seems like new downtown. I like the kind of, it's almost like a retro feel. Like when you go down there, it seems like nothing has changed. Like every time I go, it's not like anything's like new downtown, but there are some like cool little like alleyways and streets. It's very like alleyways. It's like very like dive bars. It's like you're gonna go into a lot of places where like it isn't like, this place is super nice or super cool, but it just feels a little bit more authentic. Cleveland is Cleveland,
That's hard because when you go in, you're supposed to be like the cool person, be like, no, this is great, when really it could just be dumpy.
Yeah, exactly. It is.
Oh no, this is a new hot spot. Take my pick.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know. I like the architecture of all the old stuff, but at the same time, there's not a lot of hustle and bustle for a downtown, and then and a lot of it doesn't necessarily feel safe, and it was just kind of actually hard to find a place on a weekend, like a Sunday night, trying to find somewhere to eat.
Was it all closed?
Yeah, like a lot of places just closed early or whatever. I don't know. It just wasn't even though they seem like it's a good food town, but also not so much in a way.
Yeah, I went to, I also had a trip this weekend, went to Florida, and I would say that where I went in Florida was like Hollywood, just south of Fort Lauderdale, just north of Miami. It was definitely like a top 3 vacation for me of all time.
Nice.
Hollywood is nice in Florida for sure.
It was wonderful. Just like having it was the first like convention that we've been to in a while, and this was also the first one that had the beachside access, like where the hotel was like right on the beach, which is just so convenient. We could just walk down there. If it started to sprinkle a little bit, walk back into the hotel, look back outside. Oh, it's gone. Walk back out there. So it was just very convenient, and the whole fam went down there. We haven't had everybody go in a while, and my roommate Andrew went, so we had a lot of people down there that we don't usually get together like that. So it was a grand time.
Well, I feel like Isaiah won. If the weekend was a competition, Isaiah won it.
Isaiah had the
we
better
still have plenty of
vacation.
weekends left.
Yeah.
You know?
No, because you're the only one going.
Well, you guys have plenty of time. You can always schedule
You're
something
going
else.
to Myrtle Beach. You got something.
Yeah, exactly.
I have a while till I go.
Yeah, when are you going to Myrtle Beach?
It's the last Friday of July.
Okay,
like,
gotcha.
first
Yeah,
of
you got a
August.
month.
Yeah.
You're going to have a good time.
Count it
Plenty
down.
of time. Well, I think that was enough of an intro,
Yeah,
guys.
we talk a lot of vacation stuff in the podcast anyway. So
We're excited to have the podcast back for you today. Make sure if there's ever something you want to text us about to just, give us your input about it, text 877 to Radio U and include your name and that you're from the podcast. And you might find yourself on the podcast for tomorrow.
and we will catch you then.
See you later.
See you guys.
Why are Hudson, Nikki, and Isaiah always eating on the show? The more we feed them, the less they talk. The Riot. Radio U.
Did you see this, Nikki, over the last couple? It was actually this weekend. The world's ugliest dog competition was held in California.
Oh, the name of the winner.
Yeah.
That's his name.
His name is Happy Face, Mr.
It's
Happy
Mr.
Face.
Happy Face. Oh, he's one of those dogs. Anytime they have the ugliest dog competition,
Yeah.
it is this dog.
It's a shoe-in.
It's kind of like, is that the breed name? Like, what type of dog is it? It's the one that has like a little white poof of hair at the top, and
Yeah.
they're kind of hairless the rest of the body, and the tongue sticks out.
Yeah.
This one's, and he tilts his head.
Don't even try to win the
Aw.
world's ugliest dog competition if you can't keep your tongue in. I mean, if you can keep your tongue in your mouth,
Well, sometimes
you don't stand a chance.
It's usually because they have teeth pulled and stuff.
Uh-huh.
So, like, they can't keep their tongue in their mouth.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, but he is a 17-year-old Chinese crested Chihuahua mix, and
Yeah.
his name is Mr. Happy Face.
He already like 17 years old. That's ancient in dog years,
That's
right?
very old.
So no wonder, I guess I don't want to say that that older people don't.
Well, I
look
think
as
that's what
good.
you're
It sounds like it,
implying.
doesn't it? But I mean, that's you're not going to expect some young dog to win the world's ugliest dog competition. That'd be a big shock. I just think it's I don't know. The world's ugliest dog competition is always a weird thing.
Well, I think it's just highlighting they're having fun with it.
Uh-huh.
But what they do say, and this is totally true, they say older dogs need love and family too.
That's right.
So they're saying that a lot of times in shelters, people go right past the older dogs.
Yeah.
And they could be super, super amazing to be able to adopt.
Yeah. So
And maybe they behave better than our younger dogs,
yeah.
which are not behaving well.
And maybe we all need to stop being so superficial.
Sure.
And stop, looking past these ugly dogs because they can be really sweet too. Mr. Happy Face, he looks like a sweet guy, doesn't he?
They got $1,500 for the appearance and beat out 8 other contenders, including some other.
Oh, what a shock that a lot of dogs don't want to enter into the ugly dog
Only 8?
competition.
I
Yeah.
know.
Hey, Fido, would you like to enter into the ugly dog? No, thank you. I don't think that's a title I would like to have.
I
don't care if it is for a good cause.
His ears look like bat ears, like they're very weird. But he's got like a spark about him. He's very special.
You can
looking.
tell. You can tell. Like he still seems like he's having a good time and everything. And I'll tell you who's really having a good time is the woman that won
the
that has
$1,500?
put him in the competition. She is hamming it up. She's just doing all the poses, imitating his face. She looks like she's been waiting for this moment.
Well,
she's
you ready
excited.
for more sad stuff, but yet happy that he's out of that?
Uh-huh.
Mr. Happy Face came from a hoarder home, and so he had abuse and neglect at his previous owners, a ton of medical conditions, including cancer.
Oh no!
But now he's doing great, and he doesn't have that much longer to live. But he's doing
He's
great.
17 years old. What are you talking about?
They're saying because of the cancer that he really doesn't have but maybe a few few months left, but he's had such a special end of his life because he has an owner who's taking care of him.
You looking at some of the other pictures of these dogs that are entered in? They're not ugly.
They're not ugly at all.
I know. No wonder he won.
You can't put pugs in there.
Yeah. And what is this one with the bow, the pink bow that's like looking up at his owner who's not paying attention to him? What? Or her, I guess, her owner. Come on. No, you think you're going to win with that dog in an ugly dog competition? It's adorable.
You can't win when Mr. Happy Face is in there.
You're right. They should have just cleared the field once Mr. Happy Face showed up.
They're like, we're just going to leave now.
Yeah, he doesn't have long to live, and he also is clearly very ugly.
If you are looking for a dog, it is good to try to find if you can help an older dog.
And you might be able to enter this competition and win $15,000.
Now, all right, did you say 50,000 or less?
15, right?
100.
1,500?
1,500.
It could be worth it.
I just want to make sure you don't go into the competition and shocked to find out it's not that much.
Yeah, I guess you're right. I was misled.
You were blinded for a moment.
The Riot promise is that they'll always have an opinion on everything they talk about. But that doesn't mean any of their opinions will make sense. This is The Riot on Radio U.
So one of the things that has been the most difficult about this summer is gas prices are through the roof.
I feel like you can't drive anywhere fun. And for a lot of people who have road trips planned, especially for this coming weekend, it is something everybody's thinking about.
Yeah, well, there's someone that is stepping up to help. That someone, as it so often is Sheetz.
I saw a lot about this yesterday.
The fine folks at Sheetz have launched an initiative. So if you are in an area where Sheetz is somewhere, or if you're going on a road trip in an area where Sheetz is, you may want to book an extra stop there because they have reduced the price of their 88 fuel to $3.99. Basically $4 in honor of July 4th, you could say.
That's it. It goes through this weekend. So it goes through July 4th, actually on Monday. And E85 will be $3.49 a gallon.
I was looking up E85 recently.
What is that?
That is the fuel that I can't use.
Oh.
Most people can't use it. I don't know. It is only, you have to have a flex fuel car for that. So that is vehicles. I think they only started making flex fuel stuff in 2014 or later, and still not every vehicle, because mine is newer than that, but mine is not a flex fuel. I think you would probably know if yours was one. So obviously, if you probably would know anyways, because you would be saving money on buying that gas at Sheetz. I don't know a lot of other places that sell it, but I was thinking even too, it's weird how stuff gets in your mind. 88 isn't even the normal gas that we normally use, is it? Like 87 is the standard. You probably have some fancy pants gas that you use, don't you?
Mine is the 91.
I could tell just by looking at you, you're a 91 gas.
Because I cry every time I come in. I'm like, no, it costs me so much money.
Yeah. Well, they're not doing anything to help you.
No, there's no option.
But I don't know, like the 88, is that, like, I'm looking at a sign for Sheetz. It also shows the 87. And so that seems like that's the normal, and that's way more expensive when the 88 is dropped to $3.99. Can any car just use the 88 though?
Well, I'm glad that you don't know either, because when I go to Sheetz or a few other gas stations, it looks like a casino, like the row of gas options.
Yeah, some of them have so many.
And when I look at them, I'm like, well, wait, which one's mine?
I know.
So you want to make sure if you are not compatible with 88 or 85 gas, you're not supposed to use it because it'll actually damage your car.
Yeah.
So make sure you're aware of what your gas is.
It says here, unleaded 88 is for use in vehicles for model years 2001 or newer, as well as light-duty trucks, SUVs, and flex fuel vehicles. So I guess it's like basically every car should be that. Unless you have a car that is over 20 years old, you should be fine.
Now, okay, we're just going to peel back the curtain, all right? Now, this is so nice of Sheetz, isn't it?
It is.
All right, we know it is. So just want to let you know what they want to do is they want you inside.
Yeah.
So this is an opportunity to get you and your hunger or your thirst inside to spend money, which is the goal. So it's very nice they're offering the gas, but they hope that you'll spend the difference in on food.
Yeah.
Or for me, it would take me what I would save to actually get to a Sheetz.
Yeah, right. That's,
and if you're waiting in line.
you do have to factor that in of like how far. It's actually a math equation. I think for a lot of places, this is like at least $1 off or close to it. So it's probably worth going somewhat out of your way. But Nikki is absolutely right. I've heard even before Sheetz dropped their gas so astronomically low, which is sad to even say at $3.99. That's astronomically low everywhere else. But I've heard a lot from people that have worked there and delivered gas there and stuff that their gas prices are relatively cheap because the food that we all love so much in there is not actually, it's not really high quality. I don't think they're paying a lot to get that food, and then they're selling it at a surprising, like it seems cheap, but it's surprisingly expensive.
Well, they don't want you to
That's where
notice.
their profit margins are.
And I won't notice if it's a brat and a pretzel bun.
Yeah.
So.
And I think, you know what? The hot dogs might be the one place where you don't get taken to the cleaners.
It could be good.
That and the gas.
So if you're driving this weekend, I don't know. I mean, just check maybe there's other gas stations. I just hope that leads to other ones offering some incentives for this weekend.
That's right.
So if you're going to go do a road trip or take a vacation for the 4th of July, it's worth, checking out whatever your regional gas stations are.
And all of a sudden, a lot of people just planned a road trip through Pennsylvania.
To go through all those.
For some reason.
Lower your expectations enough and you'll never be disappointed. You're listening to The Riot on Radio U.
Hey, we're just glad you're back from your vacation. That's what we're talking about.
Well, at least you guys are glad that I'm back because I am not as glad to be back. But I was ready to come back. You get to a point in the vacation where like you're starting to get worn down a little bit. You want to get back into the routine. I hadn't hit that yet, but I can imagine it was coming soon.
It would have been in the next few days anyway.
Yeah, exactly. So the vacation was awesome. It was so much fun. I went down on Friday and was down there for the weekend. Got back yesterday and hung out by the pool and went to the beach and did all the vacation stuff that you do. A lot of good relaxation time.
So you got pool and beach time.
See, I spent a lot more time at the pool than I did the beach. Surprise, surprise to no one. But we went to the beach the very first day, and then like the hotel that we stayed at was like had beachside access, and like the pool was right there. And so I was just continually encouraging everyone to stay at the pool, and everybody was down to stay at the pool.
Isaiah didn't want to go to the beach very often.
No, not a big sand guy.
Mm-hmm.
Not a big sand guy. But overall, it was a good trip. I got super tan, so I didn't burn at all. That was a good positive.
I was going to say, I don't think you look that tan.
Oh, he looks tan.
I thought you would come back tanner.
Well, I have a long sleeve on, so I'm pretty tan.
Well,
I didn't
why
get
don't you
burned
roll
at all.
those puppies up?
I'll roll these puppies up. Yeah, I feel like I got bronzed up a little bit.
What I really liked is he comes in, he's wearing a hoodie. That's so Florida. Because you're like, when you come from Florida and it's so much warmer, and then like it's 90 here, and you're like, no, it's chilly.
Yeah, it's a little cold this morning. I think it's 65. I can't be sure.
So did you embarrass your mom? That was something we were concerned about.
I did not embarrass my mom that I can think of.
Should we ask her?
Yeah, you probably should ask her. I think overall at all the meals, I act pretty well. The only time that there was any embarrassment, I would say, is like we were out there doing like a lot of convention stuff while like me and my roommate Andrew and my brothers were all at the pool, but we come for all of the food, of course. Like whenever they serve lunch, like we're showing up straight from the pool, and so we showed up at one point.
You're still dripping wet.
We walked in because we didn't realize that like the lunch was at 12:15. My dad like texted us like, "Oh, get here now," because they're all like served to us. Like it's not like a buffet; they're served to us, and so we came straight from the pool. And I was wearing like a Hawaiian shirt. Everyone in there is dressed super nice. I'm wearing like a Hawaiian shirt. My roommate Andrew's in a cutoff. Like we looked like we were at the beach. And other than that, I think that was really the only point where we looked like we stood out.
All right, now Hudson, I don't know if we mentioned this beforehand, but I keep hearing about more and more people that went on this family trip to Isaiah's trip to Florida. Are we not family? I mean, you could have tossed us in there.
There was already 7 of us, so it was tough to do things as in. What's 9 if we have 7? But yeah, people, there were some extras added. You guys were just missed the cut.
Huh?
Yeah,
oh, man, maybe the next time.
Nice to be, like not like at least nominated to go to Florida.
You guys were honorable mention. You were in consideration.
If we've really got to ingratiate ourselves even more to Isaiah's parents between now and the next toy convention.
They're just latching on to me
and
like
the toy
a leech.
convention, is that in a different place every year?
Yeah.
So it'll be next year. It'll be in like Minnesota.
It'll be some
Next year
They'll be like,
is-
please come along. For some reason, we're having trouble finding people to come.
Don't tell me it's Hawaii.
It's next year's in Chicago.
Oh, never mind.
Oh no, that's
Yeah.
a nice summer city.
No, it's not.
Think about eating around Chicago, Nikki,
Yeah.
on Isaiah's parents' dime.
Okay, there we go.
I'm just like, for free. It sounds great.
Yeah.
Well, Isaiah's mom and dad, may we call you mom and dad? We're glad that it seemed like so many people had fun that we would have loved to have come to.
Yeah. I'm glad you had a good time.
It was incredible. So glad to be back with you guys today.
I don't feel like that's
Tell.
honest.
Can tell.
We've done you a favor by selecting the best of the worst and compiling it all in one place. Riot Podcast Radio U.
Nikki, I'm sure, no doubt, on Sunday night, you spent some of that time, some of your weekend, watching the Stanley Cup Finals.
I did not, but I mentioned who won yesterday.
You did?
And I explained I was sure you would talk more about it today.
How did you find out if you didn't watch?
Listen, I still at least look what's trending, and I saw that the Stanley Cup was over.
And hockey was trending.
very-
Seems some people are interested after all.
It was very low on the list. So don't get too excited.
It was a big party in both, I guess, Tampa and Colorado on Sunday night because the game was in Tampa Bay, but the home team lost, the Lightning. So the Colorado Avalanche got their Stanley Cup victory.
Let's see if I can remember the stuff. All
Okay.
right, so 6 games.
Yep.
And Tampa Bay Lightning had won the last 2 years.
Yes.
So
yep. They
it
were going
was-
for a three-peat.
It was quite a coup for the
Yeah.
Avalanche to
Yes.
win and beat out, and so now they're the champions.
Yeah, the Avalanche, I believe they are the rare team that finished first in the regular season and in the playoff, and actually won the Stanley Cup. That doesn't happen very often for some reason or another. But they get their Stanley Cup victory, their first one since 2001. But the reason I want to bring it up here is because during their Stanley Cup celebration on the ice, which I was watching, I didn't watch until this point. And by the way, is it odd that watching the Stanley Cup presentation makes me teary-eyed
Thirsty?
every time?
What?
Thirsty.
Thirsty. It's a cup.
It's
It's a big cup.
well, you could fill it with my tears from watching
cry,
it.
Really?
Do you see how happy the guys are?
Well, yeah, but I mean, it's hockey, so I guess.
Yeah, they're so happy. They've worked their whole lives towards this. There's guys that are like 40 years old and they thought they would never
true.
get it, and then they get it, and now their name is on it forever.
That's true.
So this is it's the best moment in sports when they give out the Stanley Cup, and so the Avalanche found a way to well, I don't know if ruin is the right word, but on the ice during their celebration, they damaged the Stanley Cup.
Is that why it's dented?
Yeah, can you see that?
Oh, you can totally see on the left side of the cup, like it's dented in.
Uh-huh.
But I know that they have like the real one, and then they have like a traveling one.
Oh no,
and
but this is the real one.
this is the
though.
real one.
You don't get the replica,
funsy one?
yeah, out for the actual celebration after all of the blood, sweat, and tears they poured in. They want the real Stanley Cup, and so they got that out, but they wound up damaging it. If you've seen the video, one of the Avalanche players, Nicholas Ob-Kubel, skates up to take the team picture where they're all down on the ice, and he slides in. He falls over.
Oh, and then
And kind of lands on the cup, cushions his blow. And so there's a big, giant dent now, noticeable dent in the Stanley Cup. Now, they say, obviously, this is not the first time this has happened. The Stanley Cup has been damaged before. It's over 100 years old.
I'm sure they're used to fixing it.
But the keeper of the cup, Philip Pritchard, he says this is the first time he, in his long tenure of keeping the cup, this is the first time it's got damaged on the ice during the post-game celebration. The first time this has happened.
Well, it seems like it makes sense that it did.
Yeah, it seems you're right. The odds against one of these things happening after all these years, it just had to happen at some point. So no big deal. And this isn't even the worst damage that it's faced. For example,
they'll like knock it out or buff it out or something. It'll be fine.
It'll be fine. They'll fix it up. And what's a little dent after after winning the Stanley Cup? You deserve to be able to dent it.
If you win
if
the
you
Stanley
don't dent
Cup,
it, you're not celebrating enough.
do you get a ring if you win?
Yeah.
You do?
You get a ring.
You get a ring?
You get a
Okay.
ring, and you get a day with the cup doing whatever you want to do with it, except taking it to Russia.
You're not allowed to?
Not allowed this year.
Not allowed. All right.
It might get kept there.
There are two types of people in this world, and Hudson has a problem with both. You're listening to The Riot on Radio U.
So we talked about Isaiah's trip to Florida. Sounds like it went off without a hitch. Who would like to hear about my trip to Cleveland?
Would love to. It sounds just as exciting trip-wise as going to Florida.
It was. It wasn't too different. It was sunshiny, beautiful weather for most of it. We spent a lot of time at the pool. We went to the lake. In Florida.
If it's a lake and not a ocean.
Yeah. They're both salty. It's close enough.
Well, one's salty for pollution reasons.
Is in Florida, is it normal for the beach to have dead fish on it? Did you have any? Did you come across any dead fish?
Not the beach that I went to, nor any beach that I've been to in Florida.
Well, no, what's the thing? Is it red tide or whatever? The
that's
red
right.
thing?
Yeah, that can
That'll put some
happen.
dead
That can
fish
happen.
on it.
Yeah. Well, I did go. This was a concern. I've been to Lake Erie a few times. I've never noticed, so I don't know. Maybe like not a ton of times. Is it normal at Lake Erie for there to be big dead fish on the beach?
So you saw some?
I saw enough
lot.
for a guy to be coming around with a bucket collecting them.
Really?
And these are big fish, Nikki.
So let's see. Big are you Googling it, Isaiah?
I'm trying to right now.
Lake Erie.
I'll tell you that you weren't allowed in the water, at least at the beach I went to. It's a big lake. I'm sure you're allowed in the water somewhere.
Hey,
you weren't allowed in the water this weekend.
Here's an article from last year. What's behind all the dead fish?
So they haven't fixed it. They have not fixed it in a year.
They say that it is. They say it puts off a real bad gas odor as well.
I didn't notice that.
So they say it can occur time to time in Lake Erie when algae and other organic matters decompose, and it uses up all the oxygen, and then it creates what's called a dead zone.
What?
You went to the dead zone.
I went to the dead zone.
Bad spot.
Kid
Bad
you not.
spot.
I saw at
You're not
least.
even getting 5G, and the fish are dying. It's a dead zone.
It was a handful, and I'm talking sizable fish.
Yeah.
That were just washed up on the beach, and I thought it was odd because there were seagulls around. The seagulls weren't even messing with them.
because they're so
They were
dead.
stuffed.
Right. They already had their fill. So that was odd. The other thing that so I went to a Guardians Red Sox game.
How was that?
Well, it was great. The Red Sox won, obviously.
Was that your first time?
Yes, to go to a Guardians game.
Yeah.
I'd never been to their stadium. They have a nice stadium. It's not especially noteworthy. It doesn't have the greatest backdrop. I guess I was
dead fish isn't pretty enough.
That's right. I was thinking it should be. It's in Cleveland. It should be right on the lake. But then you just be looking at the dead fish. So it was a pretty nice stadium. But I'll tell you what I'm unprepared for, and maybe Isaiah, you might have some pointers on this. Obviously, I wore my Red Sox garb, and so everybody wanted to point out, they wanted to talk trash in a very friendly way. How do you do that?
What do you mean, how do you do that?
What do you do when somebody is trying to give you crap about cheering for the other team?
Why do you think he knows about it?
One guy said, "You're gonna have to put away your broom today because we're not having a sweep," and I was like, "Yeah, I think we are." I don't know what to say. I am never prepared for light ribbing with strangers over sports teams.
You're not a trash talker. You're not like a mean one.
Because my mind just goes to, I'm afraid I'm going to actually insult them.
And you don't want to do that in Cleveland.
I can't be too, I was either going to be mean about it or come off too mean, or I just had to laugh it off. And so I just really had no response.
You needed to bring up something Cleveland that, now you're used to. So maybe like the dead fish.
Yeah.
And they'd be like, yeah, it's not going to be a sweep. You're like, yeah, well, dead fish you.
We're going to fish slap you.
That would have gotten them. They would have been stunned.
Yeah.
I don't even know how they would have
I
reacted.
wish I would have had Nikki with me. She would have nailed it.
They would have been like, yes, the lack of oxygen, all right? We know it's a problem.
So what do you do?
See, for me, there's like two different sides to it. It depends if you're at a home or away game. If you're at a home game, you're very safe. You feel like you're very comfortable in this environment. If I go to a Cleveland sports game, I feel like I can almost say anything because the fans there are so ruthless. What I'm saying won't even be within comparison to what they've already heard while walking into the stadium. So I feel like if you're on the road, you have to kind of tread lightly.
Yeah.
Especially
Watch what
walking
you're
in.
wearing.
Yeah, before, I think you can wear your stuff, but as you're walking into the stadium, if it's before the game, usually if they're saying things to me or anything, I would say, we'll see. I guess we'll see. We'll see what happens. And, just keeping it pretty light. And then during the game, I usually just let the play talk for itself. If my team's doing well, it's pretty easy to get through the game. If my team's not doing well, it's much harder to get through the game.
It was a lot easier to walk out of the stadium. I even had a guy, he was a delivery guy for some restaurant there, and I'm walking down the street after the game, and he pulls over, and he's like, nice win today. He pulled over just because I was wearing my Red Sox stuff. So
Well, maybe next time you just wear two jerseys on top of each other, and then or like a reversible one. Then that way you could switch,
swap it out.
Yeah, swap it out. if you're
Trade
having
my loyalty,
problems.
become a turncoat.
No, you don't want to get injured.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't want them to be mean.
It was all nice. It was all in good fun. I just I wish I had more good fun in me to be able to go back and forth with these people. But I was just like, yeah, they'll probably win. They'll probably.
You're like, the Guardians will probably win. Don't even worry about my Red Sox.
Well, next time, Google some comeback.
Yeah.
And then just get your phone out on like a Google Doc. You're like, hang on.
Yeah.
And then you can
Let me
tell them
see
to
what
come
the
back.
response is supposed to be for this.
Oh, well, you made it out. And you're fine.
With a win, too.
Some talking, a little bit of yelling, and a whole lot of eating. The Riot, Radio U.
So we talked about Isaiah's trip to Florida. We talked about my trip to Cleveland from the weekend. Nikki, did you have anything this weekend?
From camping, I went camping for the first time.
Any camping stories?
It's different. Like, it's a different world, guys. I've never been to a campground, and I stayed in a camper, which was surprisingly spacious, except for like the area you sleep in.
Okay,
so that was just a bit disappointing. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. I had a really great time. I swam in a lake.
Oh, any dead fish?
Lake swimming? I think there was, because someone was telling someone not to go over there, and I think it was like a little tiny dead fish or
hopefully
something.
It was
but
only a fish.
I know every time when I walked in, I was like, "Please tell me there's no germs." I was like, "Please tell me I don't have any cuts on my body," and I'm going in. But no, it was great. I really enjoyed it.
Well, that doesn't sound so bad.
It wasn't bad at all. I didn't know what to expect, but it was very friendly and very, very nice.
Well, nice. Now that we found out about that, I did have that only took a minute. So
mine wasn't as fun as your guys's.
I've got another thing we can talk about if you'd like. I have a new survey here. 2,000 Americans who out of about 6 out of 10, 57% say they think they could be an action movie star.
They think so?
Yeah. So that means that basically 2 out of 3 of us think we could be an action movie star. Which of the 3 of us think that?
Think they can be?
Yeah.
Well, I think that Isaiah thinks he could.
I don't know. I don't think I could do it.
Why not?
I think that people are just overly confident. This isn't a wild 6 out of 10. Are you kidding me? You think you could be an action movie star? In what world do you think you're that talented?
But if you watch action movies so much, I think then you're more comfortable thinking you would know how to act or behave if you ever could become one.
Yeah, I feel similarly about the NFL too. I watch every game on Sundays. I never miss. So realistically, I probably could play.
You could be a player. Well, we told you the Browns might call you in.
Hey, you know what? At
Yeah.
this point, I might be.
They're running out of options. I don't know. I think 6 out of 10 think that they could like physically handle it, because we all know that like unless you're Tom Cruise doing your own stunts, like with a lot of clever camera work and the right lighting and everything and good choreography, you don't have to actually be in really great shape.
No, you need
to
a
be
stunt
in action
double.
movies. Yeah, right. But would they be believable looking as an action star? Most not. So, but for me, I know I couldn't be an action movie star, but I could imagine a film where I would work as an action movie star, but it had to be something like, you ever see, like, I just imagine a game you play on your phone. It's kind of like Angry Birds with like a catapult, but it's a guy that has like really, he's like a jellyfish. Like he just has really lanky limbs, and then you shoot him off a catapult.
I don't think I've seen
and he
that,
knocks
but is
stuff
that
over.
you?
Yeah, I think I could be that.
Well, maybe.
Where nothing through my own doing, but just by the situations I'm put in. I'm just knocking stuff over. Just causing havoc, but not in any kind of productive sense at all.
Well, okay, so Hudson's more of a game.
What was that? I don't even know what you just described.
It's a game. It's an old computer game.
So you're saying that you wouldn't fit into like a movie star role. You think that you should be an app on a game.
I'm saying if they developed that, they're developing.
You think you should be a phone game?
Everything into movies now. And so I think, like, what are they turning like Operation into a movie now? They're turning everything into a movie. So they turned Angry Birds into a movie. Turn whatever this game is that I can't recall the title of.
And then you could be
I'll be the guy that gets catapulted everywhere and knocks stuff over.
Well, they say 1 in 3 are saying that action movies actually have an influence on like your fitness goal. So say you want to be into like martial arts or something. You watch a big action movie. Maybe that's what you want to do. 57% saying watching the right action movie makes them feel more motivated towards those goals. And about 47% think that you could hold your own like on a competitive
All right. Now that is
physical
insane.
show.
That is insane.
I have a cross-reference here. The CDC reported only 23% of Americans exercise. So that's an absolutely absurd statement.
It is
You weren't supposed to
crazy.
notice that.
I know. You're supposed to leave that out.
57% think they could be in an action movie. Only 47% think that they could compete on Wipeout. I think I could do Wipeout just by not being an idiot. I think I could make it through a lot of the courses.
I don't know. That one's harder, and you're actually having to do it right then and there compared to an action movie. You
get a lot of takes.
Get a lot of takes with it.
Yeah, that's true. But I just watch the people on The Floor is Lava or whatever, and they make it look so hard. I don't believe it.
Actually, you know what? 3 out of 3 in this room can't do any of it. So
That's true.
I think
Come on.
that's what we should take
I
from this
believe in
story.
myself. I think if I really worked hard and put my mind to it, I could do something.
We'll let you figure that out.
I'm sure you can do something. I want to see you on the phone game. That's what I want to see.
They should make that into just crop my face into that game.
It'll be
Great.
perfect. Yeah, I'm sure you'll be their first pick.
Absolutely perfect. No notes. The Riot on Radio U.
Have you ever heard this, Nikki? The study. I don't even know if it is a study. That's the thing. I didn't look it up. But I've heard that it's possible.
Which means it's probably true.
It probably is true. I actually did look it up, and I just see a million stories about it. I just don't see one study that it traced back to. But it's possible for men to think about nothing at all.
Okay.
Supposedly, anyways, I could just stop thinking.
Sure. Well, that's impressive.
And still be alive.
I think I've heard in the past, too, because sometimes women can be frustrated, say, like, if there's you're special someone.
Right.
And you're like, hey, what are you thinking about? And they say nothing. And we have a hard time actually believing that you could really be thinking about nothing.
Yeah.
Instead, in our mind, we've thought of 10 or 20 things that you're probably thinking about. Are you lying about it?
Yeah, you must be lying.
Lying about it, or are you really thinking about nothing?
Yeah, because it's hard to even fathom. Well, I'll say, as a man, thinking about nothing sounds wonderful.
Does it?
I've thought
Turning
about it a
all off.
lot, and I wish I could also do it because I have not found a way to do that yet. I feel like that sounds like as good as you could have it. If I could just stop thinking, that'd be great. I have a tendency. My mind is always racing. I have a trouble slowing it down. And so it's hard for me to ever be able to relax.
Sure.
Because my mind is, even if I'm doing nothing, my mind is always giving me something to concern yourself with, to worry about. And so the best thing that I've found that I can do is, since I can't just stop thinking like many other men, apparently, what I can do is try to hand that stuff over to God, where the most relaxing thing I can do is say, hey, God, my mind is racing. I've got a million things that it's for some reason feeding me to worry about right now. I can't let go of all of that. So I want you to take over for me. I want you to take over these things that if I was all on my own, I know I don't know how I would stop worrying about this stuff, but I know you've got it under control. Jesus has that power to be able to come in, and even when you've got a million things that you feel like you need to worry about, he can handle it. He can take that worry from you. It doesn't mean you'll stop thinking. It doesn't mean that stuff goes away, but it does mean that somebody else will handle it for you, that you don't have to worry about dealing with all of that on your own. And that is very relaxing.
That way you could still be thinking about things, but you don't have to be worrying about
yes,
things.
there's a big gap. And yeah, when you just when you have trouble shutting your mind off, it tends to, I think for a lot of people, it tends to go to the worry route. It doesn't have to. God is ready to help with that. And all you need to do is ask, say, hey, Jesus, I'm ready for that. I've got so much going on. Even if I'm just sitting here doing nothing, I can't stop thinking about all the things that could be going on. I want your help with it. And he will help. If you want to know more, check out RadioU.com/free gift.
The Riot with Hudson and Nikki on Radio U.
Did you see this video going around the last couple days, Nikki? The what they call the Sky Cruise plane.
I did. Now it's renderings. So in case you're like, wow, that's built, it's not.
No.
Think kind of like the ships in Wall-E, sort of.
Oh yeah, you're right.
So,
I didn't even think about that.
Think of a big cruise ship that could fly
and we all know how
around.
well that went.
I know, right?
Yeah. So it is the Sky Cruise. It is something that. There's no plans to build it, but supposedly this is something that could be made.
It's a concept.
It is a concept where it is a plane that would never land, and it is built, like Nikki said, basically a giant cruise ship in the sky. Probably why it's called the Sky Cruise. It would be powered by nuclear reactors.
Actually on the plane.
Yeah, so they would allow it to never have to land. It would just be able to continually fly once it got off the ground.
They said that the idea for it would run all the time, never landing. So even repairs that might need to be done on the Sky Cruise would be done in flight.
Yeah. So understandably, after the video of this has gone around, a guy named Hashim Al-Ghali he rendered it, what it would look like, and it has gone kind of viral. And of course, people don't think it's a good idea.
Well, there's a few reasons why.
Yeah.
They say that it actually wouldn't fly.
Yeah, some people. All of a sudden, we've got some armchair engineers out here that think it wouldn't be able to get off the ground or stay afloat.
It's cool to look at, but they say, design-wise, it would not actually be able to fly.
Well, that's what people told the Wright brothers, too.
Well,
and where did they wind up?
I think it's a little bit heavier than what they were trying to
Heavier
figure
than
out.
air?
No,
they say it can't be done.
It just can't get up there.
Yeah.
It would be completely flown with AI, so there would be no actual physical pilots with it.
I do like what the guy said. He said, all this technology and you still want pilots?
Nope, you wouldn't have any.
No, they just have to have, which is great, actually, by the way, because we don't have any pilots anyways.
Well, they said
not
that
enough to go around.
If you want the Sky Cruise, which would be a hotel sort of cruise thing in the sky all the time, never land, like you'd be up there forever. It would have issues taking off because it's not aerodynamic. They said that if it ever crashed because of the reactor on it, it would wipe out cities.
Yeah.
If it did end up crashing.
That is what concerns me. As far as would I want to do this, if it actually got up there and was just up in the sky and it was an option, would it be my first choice? No, but would I feel safe going up there once it got going? Sure. But do I like the idea of somebody spending a whole lot of money to do this? No, but
Might be a waste.
if it's their own money,
so
then go ahead. Go ahead.
I think if they're like, hey, we can't live on, land anymore, then sure, I'll go up there.
Yeah, we've got to start working on ideas. Think about this. Look at his rendering. Look how big the ship is, and then look at the pool that's in the the open air, what do you call that? Where there's
Atrium?
a sky dome. Yeah, atrium. That's a massive pool.
Well, I think, again, we're just rendering.
It looks kind of fun. It looks kind of fun is all I'm saying.
It does, but that's not actually flyable based on their thoughts, but they say, hey, this is where it might go in the future one day.
Right. I don't think don't listen to the people that say it can't be done. Pour all kinds of money into this. Put many, 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 many lives at risk. and make this happen.
Yeah, it sounds like
Don't listen to the naysayers.
when you can't travel here on Earth anymore, when there's no more land travel, we'd rather go to the
There's
sky.
nothing left we could crash into on Earth anyways. There's no cities left to destroy.
That's right.
There's no fresh by date because it was spoiled when they made it. Worst of the Riot. Radio U.
Well, now that the Stanley Cup Finals are behind us, it's kind of a dead zone for sports, right?
What do we have till college football?
Well,
I think it's 10 weekends, right?
10 weekends?
I believe so. 10 or 9 weekends, something like that.
So, that's not bad. And it turns out that there's at least something going on over the next month or two to keep you occupied. How about a nice big fight? You ready for a fight?
I love watching boxing or, the other fighting.
You don't sound so convinced.
No, I like it. I don't mind if they're okay with hitting each other. It doesn't
If
upset
everybody's
me.
It's not really my
consensual
style, but-
boxing.
No, I think it's fine. I don't mind. I'm not offended by the violence. But it just depends. Is this a real fight? Or
It's a real fight.
Is this like real people, like real fighters?
Well, it's real athletes.
I feel like there's a catch.
There's always a catch.
This is, we wouldn't be talking about it if it was just random people or something. This is two former NFL players that are going to be, is Le'Veon Bell, is he a former player? Is he still in the league?
He's a former player. I don't think he's on a team right now.
He probably could
He's,
still play if he wanted to.
He's a free agent, I believe.
Yeah, so he could still get back in the league, but in the meantime, it is reported that he is going to be fighting definite former NFL running back, at least for now, Adrian Peterson.
So they're going to fight each other?
They're going to fight each other at what is currently called the Crypto.com Arena. We'll see how that goes. July 30th is when that is supposed to go down. Two NFL, they might have both led the NFL in rushing. Adrian Peterson, one of the best running backs ever. And they are going to be fighting each other coming up here in about a month.
All right, no offense, but running back, I feel like you're a little bit skinnier and faster. Mm-hmm. So do you think are they equally matched to fight each other?
They're equally matched.
Because sometimes I prefer if it was another football position where you're just bigger and bulkier and able to fight more.
The running backs, what do you think,
Not
Isaiah?
run from the match.
I think they are very, they're built to take a lot of punishment. They are usually shorter probably, but they're also they've got a lot of muscle on those bodies because they've got to take they take more hits than anybody else pretty much.
They're the exact same size too. The two of them are. They're both 6'1" and they're both 225 pounds. So when we say smaller for the normal human, yet again, they are massive.
Much bigger than Isaiah or I.
Yes, but for the NFL,
compared to NFL players,
they're I guess a little bit smaller. Yes.
So when are they going to fight?
What's that?
When are they going to actually fight?
July 30th.
Oh, it's coming up.
Yeah, it's only a month from now. Are you, does this interest you?
It does interest me. This I would actually watch more than the other stuff because I'm a huge NFL fan. So Adrian Peterson, he was the man when I was growing up. Great NFL running back, Le'Veon Bell, similar great NFL running back. So this actually intrigues me. I would like to watch this. I don't think the boxing is going to be high quality, but if you've followed Le'Veon Bell at all, on social media, he's been big into the boxing scene for a long time now. And so if I had to guess, if I had to put money on who I think will win, Le'Veon Bell's 30 comparatively so to Adrian Peterson's 37. But Le'Veon, if you followed his NFL career, outside of his NFL workouts, he's done a lot of boxing stuff in the past.
He knows a
and
thing
so
or two.
I think that he's wanted to do this, and there's been multiple times in the past when other celebrities have been fighting where he's kind of came on Instagram or Twitter and said he also wanted to do it. And so this is something he's been invested in for a while. So if he gets knocked out by Adrian Peterson, who is an absolute monster, it would be a little bit disappointing.
It would be. I think, Le'Veon Bell feels like the favorite, but then again, some might say Adrian Peterson has a little bit of a history of beating people up, so...
Oh, geez.
What? I'm not saying... Some might say that. Some might say.
Saying it.
Yeah, but so it should be an interesting fight, and just the idea of getting actual guys, these aren't even low-level guys that barely made a roster or only played a few games. These are real superstar running backs that's got me interested as well.
As
And since
long
I'm no
as-
boxing expert, if it's low quality boxing, it doesn't bother me.
You
I
don't
just want to
even
see who
know?
wins. Yeah.
As long as it's hard with celebrity boxing because some of it feels so desperate. Like, they
Yes.
just want some fame or they just need some money.
Mm-hmm.
So if they're both into boxing and it feels like they actually really want to participate in the athletic
Yeah.
side of it, then it's not so sad.
Yeah. I think, like Isaiah said, Le'Veon Bell has got some
Interest.
history in the boxing space. And Adrian Peterson, I would think, has made more than enough money. Obviously, you always want to make more. But it can't just be about the money, right? Because he can make money a lot of different
Oh,
ways.
it can.
It always can be,
Yeah.
but it's pretty grand.
Yeah, I think he's actually going to be invested. And when you get to be in the NFL, like you don't get to do that by not being competitive. So I think hopefully we should get a real good, fair fight coming up at the Crypto.com arena on July 30th.
That will be interesting to watch.
Looking forward to it.
Would Hudson and Nikki's celebrity couple nickname be Hucky or Nidson? It's a good thing they aren't together. The Riot, Radio U.
We have the Burger King employee.
I did.
He hasn't missed a day in 27 years.
I was
Hasn't
glad-
taken a day off, like a unscheduled, called in sick or anything like that, it sounds like.
I actually appreciate it because I saw over the weekend, I think, who was it for his GoFundMe? I think it was David Spade.
David Spade, yeah.
They gave quite a bit of money, and that caused it to start trending again.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh, okay. Then I finally caught what Kevin's story was.
Yeah, I didn't. I just picked it up today as well. That Kevin, his name is Kevin Ford. He's 60 years old now. He started at Burger King 27 years ago. His daughter says that the reason he started working there was so that he could. He's a single dad, so he could gain custody of his two daughters and put them through college. And so that's what he started off working there. And since then, 27 years, he has not taken a unscheduled, again, not missed a shift in his 27 years there. Now, the reason he initially went viral is because of he hit the 27-year mark. And so Burger King gave him, what did he get? He got a movie ticket, a bag of Reese's Pieces, and some pens.
Now, I like that.
Which a lot of people feel like isn't a lot.
Well, they also point out, it's a movie ticket. I don't even think
Right,
he
only
got
one
to.
ticket. He can't even take one of his daughters or special someone or anything like
It
that.
made the Burger King location, I don't know if that was a Burger King, national thing or just, its local one where he works at. That made them look so bad.
And
So his
yeah.
daughter started to GoFundMe, and again, that was last week, started picking up more this weekend, and now his GoFundMe is at $184,000.
Which is, that's amazing, right? And that's actually, is that going towards his kids' education and everything?
No,
Him and his grandkids.
Yeah, it's
He says
basically
he'll
just
do it.
going to him and his family. He's about ready to retire.
Yeah, I guess he's getting there.
So they were just wanting to show some appreciation to him where Burger King did not.
Oh, he also got a coffee tumbler and a lanyard.
Oh, wow.
We forgot to add that in.
Well, no
Which,
one said about the coffee tumbler before.
It doesn't seem like a lot for 27 years anywhere, and just and just always, you can always count on this guy. But he says he was grateful for anything. He says he's worked with people for 20 or 30 years that didn't get anything.
Aww.
Which is, man, he's really not giving Burger King. Burger King's like, please stop. Please.
Stop mentioning
Don't
it.
talk about us anymore. All publicity is not good publicity. Please. We're already having a hard enough time finding workers, and now you're throwing us under the bus like this. But it is very sweet that people are helping this guy, and now his kids and even grandkids out. That's very meaningful. And 27 years not missing a beat at Burger King. That's pretty impressive.
That's good. I just like stories because with GoFundMes, there's so many of them.
Mm-hmm.
Some you find are maybe is that what GoFundMe's for?
Right.
But
Yeah.
for these, you're really trying to help honor someone who seems like a really nice individual.
Yeah. So
And you hope it's all true.
Yeah. And you know what? I'll tell you what. He works at the Las Vegas airport branch of Burger King.
Yeah.
I bet you go to that Burger King. You're going to get one of the best Burger King burgers you've ever had.
Everybody wants to
if
go there
Kevin's
now.
making it, I bet you he's got it locked down there.
Well, you got to hurry before he retires.
Yeah, that's right.
Some talking, a little bit of yelling, and a whole lot of eating. The Riot, Radio U.
We have 2 women that were stopped at an airport. They were trying to smuggle some animals, some live animals. They were flying from Thailand and Bangkok to Chennai, India.
Yeah.
They were caught with over 100 animals in their luggage.
And they're alive, which is amazing to me because, like, I guess maybe I'm not a great packer, but I feel like how could you get all these little live animals into luggage to think that you would not get caught? Obviously, it took just the X-ray inspection to see that there were a ton of stuff, including 2 armadillos.
Yeah, well, I can see how you could fit those in. They just roll up into a ball.
Know,
they're pretty compact.
They're very tiny.
They'd be easy to pack. These 2 ladies also had 2 white porcupines, 35 turtles.
That's a lot.
50 lizards. And 20 snakes. And they fit that all into 2 pieces of luggage. I was thinking, it must be like several bags. No, it was 2 pieces of luggage with all these animals in them. And they were trying to get them into India. They were unable to, of course. They've been stopped, charged with violating the Wildlife Conservation and Protection Act of 2019, the Animal Disease Act of 2015, and the Customs Act of 2017.
Well, I guess I'm naive. I would think that there'd be no way you could possibly get these things in. But if some people didn't get through, like I wouldn't think everybody would try.
Yeah.
But they go through and they sell, these exotic, which you wouldn't think a turtle would be. But in some areas, these animals, they get sold a lot of times for like food or medicine.
Oh, yeah.
These aren't going in for armadillo pets.
No,
not normally.
That's not what it is.
So I'm not exactly sure what do they do with these poor animals when they are seized. Like, where do they go?
Yeah, I wonder. I don't even want to speculate on any idea of what.
Don't tell me it's the armadillo farm.
What the lizards could be going for. I don't want to know that it's they make lizard soup or something. I just do not want to know about that. But I guess I have 2 things on this. One, it is insane to me, like you brought up, that people would think that they could be able to get these through. Because I just assume when I go to the airport, I'm assuming they literally pull everything out of my bag. I know that they don't. But in my mind, when I'm packing, I'm just thinking they're going to see every single thing that I put in here.
Haven't you ever, if you've flown international, you get the little piece of paper?
Yeah.
And the piece of paper's like, hey, we just basically went through your entire thing.
Yeah, right. They always put it back really nicely, though. I wish you could pack it for me because it'd be a lot easier to fit everything in. The other thing, though, is what do you think the odds are that these 2 women, like, they weren't doing it for themselves? You know what I mean? Like, they're probably put up to it, and now they're the ones that are
taking the fall
when it wasn't there. They weren't probably on a trip to Thailand, and one of them said to the other, like, over drinks or whatever, it'd be a really good idea. What if we got a bunch of lizards and porcupines?
You must get paid a lot of money.
Yeah, they got put up to it by somebody. Somebody probably, they might have had a few drinks in them, and then somebody's like, oh, these are an easy target. Let's we'll give the lizards to these people. We'll see what they can do with it.
Well, I don't know. Maybe this is a distraction from these 2 suitcases with all the drugs in it.
I did think of that too, right?
It's like you're not looking over there. They're trying to distract you. They say this is kind of like the same route that a few years ago, Customs found a month-old leopard cub in a luggage. I'll take that.
Yeah.
I'll be happy to move that bag.
You'll take it back to Thailand?
I'll take it back.
They say that it is a huge, like, India is one of the worst countries for people trying to smuggle live animals in and violating these acts that we talk about. So
at least it was in luggage, because we've read a lot of stories where people like strap them to their body.
Yeah, whatever you can do.
Sit on the plane with like 100 birds on them, and then they're the ones next to you. So like in the luggage, I think is better.
Well, you're like, what's all that cheeping noise?
You're like, did a feather fall out of you, or what's that?
Did you just squawk, sir?
Well, you know better than to ask.
Yeah.
It sounds like these 2 need to do a little less TikToking and a little more tick listening. The Riot with Nikki and Hudson, Radio U.
Some great video here out of Vermont, a state we don't visit very often on the show.
Well, not if this is going on.
It's usually a very quiet state, it seems. But not in this case, where we have a man, 24 years old, being arrested. His name is Brandon Tallman. And he was just gonna, it was just gonna be a routine arrest. Apparently, he was getting arrested for aggravated assault and battery. And that just could have been the end of it. But I guess he was at his parents' home. The two troopers in Vermont, they go to pick him up. But then things go awry. Both his mom and his dad stepped in. Wayne and Amy Tallman.
Did you see his mom going after the police?
Yeah, I see that one. That one is, so the mom rushes in and is like, what is she like trying to, she kind of gets tackled or whatever, goes to the ground. And then the dad steps in with an excavator.
Which they just happen to have.
He just has an excavator on hand on the property. And so while the two troopers are kind of, still arresting the mom here, over comes dad with an excavator and he's swinging it over. And they kind of seem to negotiate for a while. Then he swings it like he's going to either, for a moment, it looks like he's going to crush the car, one of their cars. And then it looks like he's trying to actually swing it into these two troopers and kind of bowl them over with it. And man, that's serious business right there. Those excavators, that can do some damage.
Well, it can, and it just seemed like it became like you were saying, an arrest, but a warranted arrest.
Yeah.
But then it was like, well, now everybody gets arrested.
Yeah, that's what the trooper said. They said this could have been very routine. We could have just arrested the son and just been done with it. But no, the parents now had to get involved, and now both of them are in trouble as well.
Well,
in fact, the dad is facing more serious charges now than the son because he's got aggravated assault, and you could tell he was aggravated.
Mm-hmm.
And then also resisting arrest, impeding, and reckless endangerment. He was being pretty reckless too. What do you think, though? It looks to me where, I think the dad, he was bringing that excavator over as an intimidation thing, and then just kind of, you don't know how to stop at that point because, where are you supposed to go? Either you have to actually hit him with it, or you just got to give yourself up.
I don't know.
I think he got to that point in the fork in the road, and he's like, I guess I'm not actually going to hit these people with an excavator.
I don't know my excavator parts, but the bottom part where the things load into.
The bucket?
The scoop, the bucket. It gets pretty close to, to the police
that
officers.
last swing. I got to tell you, though, when he's hanging it over the car, I was kind of hoping, is he going to crush that cop car? Because that'd be pretty cool, actually. I've always wondered how satisfying it would be to use an excavator to crush something. Which is why one of the reasons why I'm not allowed behind the wheel of an excavator or the levers or whatever you use to drive them.
Well, I'm looking at the family photos, and the family that fights together gets arrested together. So I guess they like to do everything together.
They're a wild bunch, and I guess now they may each spend some time in the Vermont State Prison or something of that effect.
You've made it all the way to the end of the Worst of the Riot. This show only exists because of support from listeners like you. Find out more and help out at RadioU.com/donate.